people that feel like that, oh, my dad's not there, so he doesn't love me. That's a lie. That's a lie. Because when you're a father, you know the love that you have for your children. And like I said, it's a kid should have time around their father unless it's abuse taking place. Now, I don't agree with that. If there's abuse taking place, if that father is abusive in any kind of way, you need to look at that situation a little bit closer. But I'll tell you a story. My wife and I, we've been dating for years, man. We've been together for about 12 years total, 9 years married. And my wife and her dad, you know, they had a good relationship when she was younger, but as she got older, I guess they just kind of phased out or kind of, you know, weren't really around each other a whole lot. And my son was born. And I'm telling you guys because it takes effort on all ends to make sure that these relationships stay in place. And if they're not in place, then we need to pull them back together. Mm-hmm. Sometimes these relationships, they need a little boost. And so what really triggered me was Jonah was born, right? And I had never really met her dad. And she hadn't really been talking to him. And I was like, oh my gosh, man, like, I want my son to know his grandparents.
Yeah.
You know, I want him to have a relationship with the grandparents. And then my dad counseled, once again, he was like, you need to reach out to him. And I'm like, Dad, man, you don't know, man. I don't know this guy. I don't know how he's going to come to me or whatever. He said, you need to come to him. He said, because the person that's going to hurt in this is Jonah. So you got to reach out to him. And me and my dad, we had our disagreements and we saw it totally two different ways. So I was like, this is not my business.
Yeah.
And he was like, you married that woman. It's your business. And you got a son now. So it's definitely your business.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to take it, but I took it. And I made the contacts that I had to make to reach out to her dad. Now, when I tell you this, man, this was one of the most nervous times in my life. It's like, you know, traditionally you're supposed to like ask for her hand in marriage to the dad, but it's just untraditional. So it's like, hey man, I married your daughter and yeah, we got a kid too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I called her aunt. Her aunt got in touch with him and then he called me and we just had a conversation. And I remember it like it was yesterday. And I was like, I just started rambling. I was like, well, you know, I just wanted to reach out. I really wanted, you know, we got Jonah now. I really wanted you to meet him and him to have a relationship with his grandfather, if you will have it or whatever. And, you know, one of the first questions he asked me, he said, well, how does Shanika feel about it? Talking about my wife.
Yeah.
So even in that moment, he's still concerned about her feelings.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a love there.
Yeah.
And I said, she's fine with it. You know, she knows that I'm calling or whatever, but I just wanted to kind of make that first step and, you know, kind of bring everybody together. And he was like, that sounds good. He said, we can get up and meet. And after that, man, we met him and we've been talking. And I mean, he was just a good guy. He was really a good guy. Everything that I thought he wasn't. I mean, he likes football. We get to talk about football and all that good stuff. And me and him were on the phone one day. This was after they had met. And after we had met him, and he was talking to me, he said, you know, man, I never stopped loving Shanika. And I was like, man, what if I hadn't have made that contact?
Yeah.
What if I hadn't have made that contact, man? And he was feeling like that the whole time. I never stopped loving her. So that's why I'm saying, like, and I know this is for somebody today because if you may be a mother, you may be a child, you may be a father that is separated from the other side, and you wondering, how can he love me if he don't never come see me? How can he love me if he never calls? How can he love me? That father's love does not die.
No.
And I'm telling you, like, there's love there, but somebody got to make that step.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody got to go take that risk, like I had to.
Yeah.
And now their relationship has gotten back on track, and they're communicating. And
That's good.
And another thing I saw too, and I could speak to that, and I told my wife, I said, honey, you were great before, but I can tell that your relationship, having this relationship with your dad now, has made you even better. You know, it's a completeness there.
Yeah.
Now that she is, reunited with her father, and what was done is worth more than what money can buy. And, I'm just thankful, and I thank God for that opportunity to be able to reunite my family. I'm married into this.
Yeah.
It's my family.
Yeah.
And I love him, and, I love Shanika, and it's like we're getting where we need to be, man.
Yeah.
And he's talking to Jonah on the phone, and Jonah knows that's his papa, and it's just good, man. It's just a good feeling. It's a good vibe, and I'm just glad I did it. And if anybody's out there standing on the fence right now, go do it.
Yeah.
Go do it.
Yeah.